The security cameras at a nearby gas station saw something strange. A young woman showed up, and the security guard noticed her right away. He had a good reason to be concerned because she was acting strangely. When he realized what she was doing, he got very worried and turned pale. Matthew was having a normal day at the gas station until a strange woman appeared. He was watching the security camera, checking cars coming and going smoothly, but then a woman walked into the camera's view without a car. She stood by the gas pump, looking nervous and trying not to be noticed. Matthew noticed she had a small container with her, like a jerry can. It seemed like she was waiting for cars to finish filling up with gas, and when they did, she rushed to take some extra gas. Matthew saw her do this after the first car left, and he shouted at the screen in surprise and anger. What she was doing was a serious crime, and he couldn't just let it happen. He had to do something about it. Matthew hurried to the gas station, but by the time he got there, the mysterious woman had already disappeared. He felt disappointed and frustrated, but little did he know that the woman wasn't finished. She showed up on the security camera again, and this time Matthew was ready. But even then, he couldn't catch her in the act of stealing. This game of cat and mouse occurred over 3 times, and every time Matthew was just slightly too late. He had to devise another plan. That's why he decided to leave his off-site security booth and stake out the gas station itself. This time, he would be right there in the action. With the monitor in hand, he placed himself behind the station and waited. It turned out that this plan of his was the best thing he could do, because after about an hour of waiting, it all came to fruition. He watched his monitor like a hawk, and eventually, he saw the mysterious woman appear on screen again. She walked up to the gas pump to steal some more gasoline. The pump. He got on his feet, ready to strike at a moment's notice, but then he realized something. He had to catch her in the act, even though she had committed this crime multiple times already. He felt like he had to catch her in the act this time. He needed ultimate proof, so he waited for her to grab the hose and fill up her jerry can. He jumped out from his hiding spot behind the building and jolted toward the unsuspecting female. He had clearly caught her off guard because he could see her eyes grow large as he popped out. The woman froze for a moment as Matthew ran toward her. "Stop right there!" He screamed at her while running at full speed. Matthew told the woman that he saw her multiple times today and that he was onto her from the start. He missed the bullet the first few times, but he now caught her red-handed. He saw her steal the gasoline and also caught everything on tape. After that, he explained to the woman that she was in big trouble. He was going to arrest her, but before he would do that, he demanded an explanation. "You are going to tell me right now why you siphoned all that extra gasoline. What is it all for?" Matthew said with a serious face. Matthew was expecting a snobby response after that demand, but to his surprise, he got the opposite reaction. The young woman started weeping softly and brushed away a tear with her free hand. The act of crying caught Matthew off guard, and he even loosened his grip because of it. She put her hand on his shoulder and asked Matthew to follow her. There was something he had to see. The woman's touch made Matthew shiver. He didn't expect this criminal to have such a gentle touch. It caught him off guard, but guarded he did remain. "What do you want me to see?" he asked her. The woman told him that he should see for himself, so Matthew had no choice but to oblige. Guided by the woman's hand, they reached a large room inside the nearby building. It was pretty much barren, with nothing but some empty shopping carts and a bad odor surrounding them. Matthew could hear voices coming from that part of the room. "Who is there?" Matthew asked the mysterious woman. The woman pointed forward, and then Matthew saw it. The floor was filled with large mattresses, food cartons were scattered all over the room, and when he looked to his right, he even saw a cooking setup, but this one was made out of empty bean cans. What is all of this? But the biggest surprise was yet to come, because after that realization, dozens of people emerged from the shadows. They were all covered in dirt and had raggedy clothes. Most of them were shy at first, but after the woman nodded her head, they came over to greet Matthew. A small child stepped forward first. She approached with caution and said hi to the confused Matthew. The woman patted her on the head and gave the little girl the jerry can. "Give this to your father, Lucy," she said. Initially, Matthew wanted to stop the little girl from running away with the gasoline. "Stop right there, little girl. Give that back to me," Matthew demanded, but before he could reach out and grab the jerry can for himself, the woman stopped him and started talking. "Don't do this. I can explain everything," she said. She started out by saying that her name was Amelia. It was good to finally put a name to the face. But Amelia, what is all of this? Matthew asked. Amelia explained that many of the homeless people in the city were living inside this very building, and that was not without reason. Amelia said that this building was the very last place where these people were able to go. The city has been focused on its rich and privileged people for years, leaving the less fortunate families to fend for themselves. These people begged the local government for shelter, but were refused time after time. Matthew had been angry and determined to make an arrest the entire time, but now, for the first time, he could feel his anger slip away. It gave way to understanding and sympathy. He felt horrible that these people had to go through that, but there was something that still bothered him. He still did not understand why Amelia needed to steal that gasoline. A metal sound was heard in the distance, and suddenly, the dark room lit up. You see that gasoline fuels a large portable battery that provides power and heat to this entire floor. Matthew stood there with his mouth wide open. He now finally understood and realized that these people were in desperate need of help. But still, one question remained to be answered. If fuel was the only thing that Amelia needed, she could have simply bought it like normal people would have, right? So why didn't you simply do that? Matthew asked. That way, the homeless would have been helped and Amelia wouldn't have done anything wrong. But she had an answer to that. Amelia explained to Matthew that she had been assisting homeless families for some time. Despite facing many challenges, she had worked hard and, with determination, established a foundation to provide them with essential items like food and supplies. Amelia's dedication went beyond her time. She also contributed her own money to support the foundation. While the foundation served as a long-term solution, these people urgently required warmth and electricity. With limited funds available, Amelia had to think creatively to meet their immediate needs. After understanding Amelia's noble intentions, Matthew faced a dilemma. He couldn't take away the stolen gasoline, but he also couldn't allow her to keep stealing from the gas station. In an unexpected move, Matthew, the humble security guard, initiated a community drive at the gas station where everything started. This allowed people from the local community to contribute a little at a time, with all the proceeds benefiting these struggling families. Surprisingly, the initiative gained tremendous support. Within weeks, the gas station became much more popular than the second most popular one in town, and donations poured in. Matthew couldn't believe the success and was delighted to announce that the gas station had already collected enough money to provide the families with a year's worth of power. But he wasn't stopping there. He promised to continue the community drive for as long as necessary, determined to give these people a second chance at life. What are your thoughts on this story? Do you agree with Amelia's actions? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please show your support by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated with our channel. Thank you for watching.